Hello guys, this is Mr. Bolio with your third video for the day. I promise it's the last one. I wanted to give you an example of how to do a system of equations with a word problem. This one is totally a math teacher's word problem. And it says the following: tank A is full. It holds 600 gallons of water and empties at a rate of 40 gallons per minute. The equation of the number of gallons in tank A after t minutes is G equals 600, because that's what it started with, minus 40 times t, or losing 40 gallons per minute. Tank B is empty. It holds 500 gallons of water and fills at a rate of 10 gallons per minute. The equation for the number of gallons in tank B after t minutes is G equals 0, because it started empty, plus 10t, because it's gaining 10 gallons per minute. Graph the two equations. So what I'd actually like to do is I'm actually going to graph these two equations using Desmos. So I'm going to click on over to desmos.com. And I'm going to graph the equation for the first one, and I'm going to use x's and y's, okay? I can't do this one in color, bud. So the first part, it says G equals 600 minus 40t. I'm going to write y equals 600 minus 40x. And I have a very steep line, but I'm going to change my scale in a second, so don't worry about that. Now the second equation, it's representing the amount of gallons of water in the second tank. Hold on. And we know it started with 0, and we're adding 10 gallons per minute. So the equation for the second would be y equals 0. You don't even have to write that, plus 10 gallons per minute. And that's going to make a line as well. What I'd like to do is I'd like to think about these graphs and kind of make meaning to this. So I'm going to go into graph settings, and I'm going to change my x-axis so it really only goes by like positive numbers. And x really represents my minutes. So I'm going to say my x-axis is going to be minutes, is my label. And I'm going to change it so it goes from 0 to, let's say, 20 minutes. All right. And the y-axis represents the gallons of water in each. So I'm going to say gallons of water is my label. All right. Okay. And my y-axis is going to go from 0 to, I don't know, the biggest tank I think was 600. So let's go a little more, 650.
Whenever you say that, I'm going to say 0.
Sounds good. So now when we actually look at the graphs of these two equations, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. We actually have a purple graph that represents how many gallons in my first tank. And obviously it's decreasing. And the black graph represents how many gallons in the second tank, which is increasing. Now, nice thing about Desmos is you can just click on their intersection and it gives you the solution to the system, which is 12, 120. Now to put that into context, part A says, after how many minutes will the tanks contain the same number of gallons? Well, you got to think about that intersection, which was something like this. What does the 12 represent? And what is the other number?
Like a 10.
What does the 120 represent? Well, remember, the x-axis is about minutes. So this 12 is 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, they have the same amount of water in them. Now, part B, it says, how many gallons of water in each tank? Well, remember, your y-axis was about gallons. So 120 is the number of gallons. So 120. Guys, they don't have to be too difficult. If you can use Desmos, if you can write equations, and you can find intersections, these problems aren't really that bad at all. Good luck on the practice questions. Have a nice day.